Hello? Hello? Alright. Hello, YouTube world. My name is Nicholas Montez, and you're probably wondering, why am I streaming something late at night on YouTube? Well, there's a reason for that. I did not mean to do this late, but I had to watch a few more movies in order to get onto this list. Today we're doing the last final end of the year list, which is, I already did movies I saw in theaters ranked, I already did TV shows I saw this year ranked, which was kind of exciting because I didn't really know what list I didn't know what was going to end up where. I did my MCU list, and now finally we're doing the ultimate list, the movies I missed in 2024, which was kind of interesting because since the day after Christmas, that's kind of what I've been doing, and that is because I've been watching and catching up with all the movies that I missed. And so this has been a very fun last 5 days, and very stressful, but I've been able to get through it, and I have the list ready. There's, of course, a couple films that were not able to make it on the list. Otherwise, I might as well be watching them this week. And what I mean by watching them, I mean by bootlegging them. But with that said, we are going to go ahead and get started. Okay. Whoops, let me... Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I think I've overseen over 70 something like new releases on films that I missed in 2024. Okay, so hold up. Gotta get my drink of water. Already running out of breath. Alright, so first up, no, I'm getting out of breath and we haven't even started. Okay, so first up, we have, which is kind of crazy in the way I'm making this list, but the first film we're talking about here is the best Christmas pageant ever, which in my opinion, it's actually the best film on the list. But that was kind of unintentional because when I made this list, the Christmas pageant was like the first one I downloaded because I put it as like the title picture for the section of the list. But for me, yeah, this is the best movie that I've seen of the films that I missed. I remember seeing the title for this film. Hold up, let me fix that. I remember... Sorry, I do not want the leg in here. Okay. I remember seeing the title for the film, and I'm like, this just reminds me of that Christmas movie, Best Christmas Ever, that I saw on Netflix last year. I don't want to see something like that. And then I started seeing all the reviews go in, and I'm like, everybody's praising it, saying this is like another Christmas classic. I'm like, what is this? And without giving too much away, because I kind of want to save it for, like, New Year's Day when I talk about this film, but it really had a sincere... It really felt like a nice Christmas classic film without, like, while it's being its own thing and being its own story. And while it is a Christmas classic in and of itself, it's a great movie in general. So, I love the story. I love the characters. I loved how sincere it is. And I liked how it kind of just made everybody realize what the story of Christmas was. Especially someone that doesn't really follow Jesus like that. This movie made me a little interested into the story of Jesus in the Bible. So, yeah, this was pretty good. Next up, we have Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and put the Christopher Reeve story up in the A tier. To be clear, I have no connection with Christopher Reeve or his Superman films. I never watched any other Superman film besides Man of Steel. I know nothing of these films. But I remember seeing the trailer for this film come out, and everybody was saying it was like the best thing ever. And honestly, documentaries can make for a good time. And for me, while it was a great telling of the story of how Christopher Reeve became Superman, when he got on the horseback riding accident, and then when he passed away, and the story of how his kids lost their mom over the years, I think it's a very powerful story that, like, he empowered people as Superman, to become better, but then when he was in the wheelchair, you realized he empowered people that were in wheelchairs. And he's still doing that to this day, and I think, and the fact that, like, Barack Obama created, like, an initiation for that, I'm like, that is beautiful. And even the way that the movie is edited, like, it's a documentary, but it feels like an actual movie, like we're going on a journey. And I really enjoyed that aspect of the film. So, to me, yeah, this is one of the best movies of the year. Next up, we have the Underdoggs. Snoop Dogg movie. I think this film is great. I think it's very funny. But I also really like the plot, and I like these types of films. So yeah, we're gonna put this one in the B. Not quite in A, just because I don't tend to go back and rewatch it as much, but still a great film. The Book of Clarence. I think this film is pretty great. I thought just doing a Black Jesus story, amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and put this one in the B tier as well. Still great, but not as rewatchable as the others. Suncoast. So this was one that was kind of popular in my household for my mom and dad. They can be bored in the house and not do much of anything, and so sometimes they like to watch movies. I'm technically the person that is supposed to recommend them new movies, and Suncoast happened to be one that they wanted to see, and my mom was crying when the end happened, and it really is an emotional film. I really liked the story. I really liked the characters. Well, not the characters, but I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff in this film. It is pretty heartbreaking, so we're going to put this one also in the B category. Next one, we have Anora. Anora was one that was most praised for when I was starting to watch it. I heard nonstop greatness for this film. Is it one of my personal favorites? No. Of course, the actress in here, she's gorgeous. And it's kind of crazy just how horny this movie is. Which, I mean, saying horniness is a good thing about a movie is kind of weird, but it kind of works. But at the same time, the rest of the story of this stripper falling in love with this Russian guy, and then their parents trying to get, like, it fixed out, it's interesting. And the performances, there's a lot of cursing, so I think it's pretty interesting, because that's something that can actually happen in real life. So I'm going to put this one in B, but it's going to go behind Suncoast. Next up, we have We Live in Time. Absolutely love this film. So I know what you're thinking. Most of these films are, like, going based off of, like, each category. Most of these films kind of go in a weird order. I don't know why, but yeah. We Live in Time, amazing film. What's actually funny about this movie that I love is this film was all created because of the Oscars last year. Last year, one of the presenters for the Oscars was Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. And when we were watching the Oscars, all of us were like, their chemistry is so good. We love their chemistry. And then now Hollywood a few months later, decided to announce Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh are going to star in a movie together. And they're going to be the two leads. And so when I heard about that, I'm like, it was coming. It was coming. And, for me, Andrew Garfield might be one of my favorite actors, mainly because I feel like in almost every single film, any film that he's in, he steals the show, and he is the best lead actor there is. He's kind of like the Tom Hanks. He's kind of like a Tom Hanks of the 21st century, to where Tom Hanks can be in any movie he wants, yet he is probably the best actor to stand out. And Tom Hanks can stand out in so many roles, and he's actually in a movie on this list that we'll talk about in a few. But putting Andrew Garfield with Florence Pugh, he's awesome. They're awesome together, but the story here I thought was also kind of creative, because it's not just the performances, it's also the story. I thought it was good. So overall, I thought We Live in Time was amazing. So you're going to go in the B tier. Next up, we have Terrifier 3. So I remember I watched All Hallows Eve last year, didn't realize it was part of the Terrifier franchise, and then I believe I watched Terrifier 1 in 2022. I thought it was good, but I never thought it was like the best thing in the world. Just watched Terrifier 2 a few days ago, thought it was great, and now I watched this film, and I think it's an ultimate... This is basically the horror film for Christmas time. We have Thanksgiving, which is a horror film for fall, for the ultimate fall season to watch before Thanksgiving, and now this is the movie for the horror film for Christmas time. I think it's the ultimate example of how to do that. And I just loved I just loved every single kind of aspect of having these Christmas scenes with horror scenes. It worked a lot for me. So I'm going to put this one in B as well. Next, we have The Apprentice, the Donald Trump movie. A lot of people had opinions. I haven't heard many opinions on this film of what people think of it. I definitely liked it. I thought Sebastian Stan did a really nice job as Donald Trump. You believed him as it. And from everything that I've been learning about him in the interviews and stuff like that, it just fits perfectly into how this film is. That's all I'll say. Because I think whatever I'll say could probably get into political views, and I don't want to deal with that. That's not what this channel is all about. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and B. Next up, we have The Killer's Game, which was a film that I was low-key kind of excited for. Because I like action movies, I like Dave Bautista, and this movie looked interesting to me. And I think the action is fun, and that's basically all we get. So, you're going to go in the solid C. The Greatest of All Time. This is, I believe, a Bollywood film. I don't watch many of these, but I watched this one because Sean Chandler said he watched it, and he tends to like these films, and it was good. I think the weakest point of these Bollywood movies is they're just 2 hours long, and I don't really mess with them like that. Now, I probably need to watch more Bollywood movies and understand them, but I like the production of them. I like the action feels a lot more different than, like, normal Hollywood movies. So, yeah, that's definitely something cool. So, yeah, this will definitely go in the C tier category as well. Smile 2. I thought Smile 2 was far way better than the first Smile. I thought the music concert plotline worked a lot better with this film, and the thrills and kills were good in this film, especially the opening sequence. That whole sequence was really good, so I'm going to put this one in C. Next we have Kill. You basically Die Hard on a Train. Came out this summer. I thought it was a solid action movie. We'll put it in C. 1992. This was a film that came out back in August. I was looking forward to it, actually. Because, it stars Tyrese Gibson, and it's basically of the stuff that was going on in the year 1992 with, like, drug dealers and all that stuff. I thought it worked for me. I enjoyed it. I liked it. It's going to go in C. Abigail, the vampire horror film that was directed by Radio Silence, the people that did Scream, as well as Ready or Not. The people that did the last 2 Scream movies. I thought it was good. Nothing too crazy, though. But that's all I'll say. So yeah, Abigail, C. The Substance. This was a pretty cool film of the substance and how it takes over people and makes you thinking. I thought it was good. C. Beetlejuice. Wasn't a big fan of the first film. I actually happen to really enjoy this one. So you're going to go in the C tier as well. Piece by Piece. I was also curious by this movie because, you know, I like Lego movies. I also like Pharrell Williams' music. And making a Lego biopic documentary film about his life seemed interesting. And it was interesting, and it was good. So, C. Saturday Night Live. The movie about the storytelling of the first Saturday Night Live skit. Pretty good. My Old Ass. Aubrey Plaza is a queen, but the story actually does have some emotion to it, so I will actually forgive it for that. It's pretty good. Strange Darling. I really like the storytelling in this one. This was actually a pretty cool way to tell a story. My Angels, not Dirty Angels. I know it wasn't Dirty Angels because it's not on this list. Something Ordinary Angels, that's what it was. Ordinary Angels. Ordinary Angels was good. Knox Goes Away. This was the Michael Keaton thriller this year. I thought it was good. Lisa Frankenstein. Yeah, it was alright. It was alright. I think this is Arcadian. Solid. The rule of the word of the N-word. I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, pretty good movie. The Casagrandes movie. That was pretty good. Not as good as the show, and I wasn't really the biggest fan of the show, but yeah. Marmalade. Not Marmalade from Paddington, but still good. Things Will Be Different. Solid film. I.S.S. A thriller in space. Pretty good. Alright, now we start heading into a little bit of the category where films are going to start to be a little negative. Though they don't mean to be. Mean Girls, I think, and the way the list is designed, like, technically, the next section is kind of like B- films, so they technically have to go in the D tier. If it's like a C plus or less, then it's gonna go there. Mean Girls, it could have been so much better, but honestly, this movie was just kind of weird. Renee Rapp and the girl that plays Jade, not Jade, that's Jade Pennyjohn. No. I forgot the other girl that can tell her boobs the weather. They're both hot in the film. The girl that plays Katie or whatever, she's hot too. It's just a bunch of hot women, but hell, it's it's fine. It's definitely much higher than like on my other list. Hold up. Anyway, so I'll put this one in D. It Ends With Us. Yeah, this was another, I guess, solid film. Nothing too much to say about it, but sorry. Okay. Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse documentary. No, not documentary. The biopic. Thought the girl that played Amy did a fine job, but nothing else of that. Prey. Only watched this film because I wanted to watch Beast, which was the Idris Elba lion movie. I thought it was okay. I don't remember what this one was, but we're just going to assume it's D. Never Let Go. This is the Halle Berry movie. I thought it was good enough. It was good. Conclave. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't understand this movie. I didn't understand what the point of the movie was. So you're going in F. I'm sorry. Azrael. Pretty good. I liked it. It goes par on par with Never Let Go. Megalopolis, one of Francis Ford Coppola's film. I thought it was good. Cuckoo, solid. Imaginary, okay. Arthur the King, pretty good. I'm kind of speeding through these because most of these I don't really have an opinion on. So it's kind of like, what am I really supposed to say, you know? So I'm kind of going to speed through most of these because we don't need to be here all day. Cabrini. Young Woman in the Sea. I'm not going to lie. Every time I see something on Disney Plus or on Instagram or something like that, it's always about praising this movie. This movie, nobody cared about it. Like, I mean, it got a solid score on Rotten Tomatoes, but honestly, I feel like nobody should listen to that anymore because everybody should make their own opinions on movies. But sometimes the critics can be right. And other times they're not. So, for me, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it, though. Sasquatch Sunset. Very odd film, but I liked it good enough. Horizon, an American thing, whatever. I was kind of excited for this film because it's like a Clint Eastwood film, and it's a Western, and it was like a part 2 film. What's actually crazy is I was thinking, wait, did I forget to watch the second part in August? And I'm like, oh yeah, they took it off the list because it didn't come out. So that's funny. That's hilarious. But I thought it was solid. What is this one? I totally forgot. Wait, is it Never Cut or something? I don't remember. Your Monster, Immaculate. It's Sydney Sweeney. Come on. I watched it for the plot, of course. Hellboy. It's crazy. I watched the Hellboy movies. The newer Hellboy, live-action Hellboy movies. They're fine. And I got good enough action from this one. But it's very forgettable because you don't even know that a Hellboy movie came out. Scrambled. Fine. Drive Away Dolls, I believe. Yes, fine. Code 8 Part 2. Oh, no, wait, this is time cut. So I don't remember what this one was, but this is time cut. So yeah, this is going in F. Megamind. So yeah, we'll put these two in F. Megamind and A Family Affair. Yeah, they were all awful. Yeah, I hated those movies. They were extremely awful. I don't really need to say anything more. I agree with every one of what they're saying. The movie's awful. Strangers, Chapter 1. I'm going to put this one in the D category, unfortunately. And now we get to the movies that I actually just saw today. Which, a lot of them, I have different opinions on. But most of them, they're pretty good. So first up, we have Werewolves. Technically, this movie came out, like, earlier in the month. But I thought it was good. You know, I heard a lot of good things about it. Like, the wolves are practical. It stars Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo, I guess, has been having a month because he's in Werewolves. And then he's also in Creature Commandos, which is a great show another favorite show of mine that came out this month. So, they had a solid month. As to where I'll place this, I think I'll place it right between Abigail and The Substance. I thought it was pretty good. Alright, now let's talk about Kraven the Hunter. Now, I know a lot of you, everybody's hating on this film. Everybody has been hating on the Sony Marvel universe. And I mean, obviously, to be clear, as a fan of Marvel, I like the Venom movies. I liked Venom: The Last Dance. I mean, I gave it a B-, but I still liked it. A B- means I still like it, but it's very flawed. Morbius was bad. A C+, but bad. Madam Web was bad. And now we get Kraven the Hunter. Which, if I'm going to be honest, I don't really understand where everybody's coming from with this movie. This movie was actually kind of good. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that this was like a top-tier Marvel film. It's better than Into the Spider-Verse. I am not saying that at all. But it's kind of good. Like, you get, like, how can this movie fumble? Like, if you are going to talk about the dialogue, which honestly I wasn't paying attention of, I was just appreciating the story with Aaron Taylor Johnson and him being this hunter. He gets powers from a giant ass lion that doesn't look normal. A leopard, like, it helps him attack people. He kills people with, like, rat catchers. And then he also fights the rhino, which I will admit, the rhino does look a little bad. But this movie actually kind of gives you what you would expect from a Kraven movie. Like, it gives you that. It gives you the action. It gives you a little bit of the backstory. But in this case, the backstory and the action, it actually works in the film. Maybe I need to rewatch it again to actually understand where everybody's coming from. But I liked it. It was fine enough. I'm not saying it's like the greatest thing ever, but it was fine enough. To where, when you look at a film like Madam Web, and there is actually a cool concept there, but they kind of fumbled it bad. To where you don't care about any of the Spider-Woman, you don't care about Madam Web. I mean, you actually do care about that one scene when they're trying to work together to save the person. But none of the action's good, none of the story is good, and it's just an awful mess. Venom: The Last Dance, I think is flawed, but it's fun. So, where would I put this one, though? I'm going to put this one... It's tough to know where to put it. Putting it above Piece by Piece. I'm doing that. I'm doing it. Next up, we have Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim. This is the new animation Lord of the Rings movie. I wasted my time watching the Hobbit movies to get ready for this one. It was alright. The animation is solid. The action's good. It's whatever, I guess. As to where I'll put it, I'll put it here. It's better than Prey. Next up, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, a lot of you are saying this is like one of the best films. It's better than Mufasa. It is better than all of this stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's very good. I think that this movie was a solid sequel to Sonic. I loved that we get to spend more time with Team Sonic. I loved that we get to have 2 Jim Carreys in here. They were a lot of fun. I really liked Keanu Reeves' performance as Shadow the Hedgehog. I liked a lot of the action. I thought the special effects were great. The way they used certain characters was kind of fun. And I liked that it used a little bit more emotion. However, this movie has a few issues for me. In where I feel like that this movie, it needs a little bit more to develop, especially with Shadow's backstory and the gun organization. I feel like we could have developed a little bit more of that. Also, I wasn't a big fan of the finale. I kind of feel like the whole finale is just Shadow and Sonic stopping a bunch of machines while they have the power of the Emerald Stone, while you have 2 Jim Carreys fighting each other with nanotech hands. And then what else? You literally have they're trying to stop a laser beam. Like that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to stop a laser beam, and they do it simply like you laser the moon. Really? That's it? And maybe this is just me talking and saying, like, I'm used to all the action that's in Marvel movies, and this is a video game movie. And so, I'm pretty sure there's people that agree with me, but, like, that's the third act, that's the finale, and that's the emotion. Like, I couldn't really care about if Shadow died or not. And especially because obviously we know Shadow's alive, so, I cared a little bit, but not too much. And then also, I was kind of expecting a lot more characters to be in the film. We got Amy at the end, and I only know Amy because one of my friends loves her, so that's the only reason. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I loved it. Parts of me go back to an A-, and the other parts of me go back to, like, a B. It's definitely not better than Mufasa, don't get me wrong. It is not better than Mufasa. Mufasa is a better movie for me, but I still really liked it, so I'll put this one in the B category. Most definitely a B. But it'll go at the bottom, unfortunately. Then we have Y2K. Good enough film. Good enough. The Order. Solid movie. The Return. What the fuck was this movie? F, but it's the best of F, though. Though that's not saying much. Night Bitch. So this was actually the movie I just finished to get ready for this list. It's basically Amy Adams, basically being in her motherhood, but she has all these signs and basically thinking she might be turning into a dog. To be honest, it's a very weird concept, but they kind of handle it really well. Amy Adams is a good actress, in my opinion. She's a fine actress. And when she's able to handle, like, the most bizarre of storylines or plots, this is one of them. And, granted, I think her performance in the film is good. She's barking at people, she turns into a dog, she, like, kills cats. Of course, not as a human, as a dog, of course. But I will say some of the way the story was kind of structured was a little bit weird. But I still actually kind of liked it, though. So, I'll put this one in D. Alright, next up we have one that I watched just last night, Steal the Naughty List. So, I know this is not a film that I bet nobody heard about this film. This is a little stop-motion Christmas film. They came out back in November 15th or so. It stars one of my favorite YouTubers, Brian Hull. He gets another voice acting performance in. And basically it's about, like, this crew of misfits that people are saying that these two snowmen are on the naughty list. And what was so amazing about this film is, and granted, this will actually, while this is a film that came out this year, it will also be my top 10 of the year, in case you don't know. And to spoil, or if you want to know where it's going to go on my list, it's going in straight up in the A tier, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, so this movie, it's like, first off, I love that it kind of felt like a homage to, like, all those stop-motion, animated films people would watch during Christmas time. I think that was kind of cool. I think that was a cool aspect of the movie. Sorry, I'm really trying to fix this. Let me see if I can fix this. But, like, I like the homage to, like, all the classic Christmas films, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It felt a lot like that. But also, like, it was kind of funny. Like, Brian Hall added some humor to it. Like, you hear Brian's voice, but he fit the character as Rory. But then also, like, you're going past these wolves and this polar bear and this man that only skates backwards. And all of them kind of have like this unique twerk and especially their unique quirks, and especially like they cut a wolf like tail off, and it's low-key kind of funny when they start talking because you think they're just gonna be going after you, but like it's low-key funny, and I thought it was like really good. And then also like I like the way they kind of switched up of like we're trying to get off the naughty list, but instead they did this different story with Santa Claus that there is no naughty list or nice list. It's the forgiven list, the people that need it most. And I thought that was such a unique story that they did for it. And I probably would maybe make it like 10 minutes longer, but I thought it was a great film. I thought it was great. Next up, we have Heretic, and yeah, it was fine. Nothing too crazy or anything. Here. So yeah, this is probably gonna be the last great movie that I saw this past year that I missed. Here, it's a new Robert Zemeckis movie. I was kind of excited for it because it's basically this one film that is just placed in this one shot, and I think that's an amazing idea. And with the amazing performances, seeing life basically happen, and with Paul Bettany and Tom Hanks, it's pretty great. And seeing I think what was so well about that, the cinematography, the score, but also to Paul Bettany and Tom Hanks, they seem like they can be in movies like this that can be generational. And I think that was just really something solid and good. Like parts of it just gave me flashbacks to like Paul Bettany's days on WandaVision, as it like feels like we're sitcom and stuff. And then other times, with Tom Hanks, it feels like I'm watching like Forrest Gump in a way, without the accent, of course, or the other films that he did back in like the 80s and 90s. So this film just kind of made me feel a lot of things, and it is technically a reunion between the cast members of Forrest Gump. So I thought it was pretty great. I loved it. I don't get the hate that it got, but I loved it. So yeah, you're going in B. I'll put it above We Live in Time. Meet Me at Christmas. It's another solid Netflix original Christmas movie. I enjoy these films. I'll put this one in C. The Piano Lesson. Really enjoyed Samuel Jackson in here. It was good. I liked it. Hot Frosty. What the hell was this movie? What the hell? It kind of felt like Beauty and the Beast. And they brought back the girl from Mean Girls. Not Mean Girls 2024, 2004. Unfortunately. Dear Santa. I don't hate this movie like everybody else does. Maybe it's just because I like Jack Black a lot, but it's not that great, though. It's still kind of schlocky. I'll put this one in D, though. That Christmas. I thought it was pretty good, but nothing amazing, though. Nothing amazing. Spellbound. I kept getting mixed up with That Christmas and Spellbound and thinking what film is which. But, yeah, I like both movies. Though Spellbound, unfortunately, That Christmas is the better film. And then I'll put this one here. Yeah. And then finally we have Emilia Pérez. The Zoe Saldana musical Spanish movie. Pretty good. Solid one. I'll put this one in the D as well. And there you have it. That is my tier list for every single movie that I saw in the year of 2024 that I missed. I seen over like 70 movies or 80 something. I don't know. That's my list. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Also, come back tomorrow. I'm going to be doing my I'm going to do another live around 10 a.m. or something like that, 9, where I'll be ranking all the movies that I saw in December, first time watches plus new releases. That'll be a big video since I saw a lot of new releases. I saw a few new releases, but I also saw a bunch of first time watches. So it will be a fun video to do. So I'm very excited, and yeah, that'll be it for now. And then, of course, come January 1st, I'm going to do my ranking of every single movie that I saw in the year of 2024, plus the first-time watches, which will be the most I've seen it in all year, which is 515. Well, it's 514 now, because I haven't added still the naughty list yet, but once I add it, it'll be 515, and then I believe I've seen over 180-something movies this year. But yeah. But some of the movies that I missed are on the first-time watches list. Because it's past the month, it's past the week, it's past everything. So, it counts. But yeah, that's it for now. Bye-bye.